Jesus will bless you. What a fearsome thing to be in the presence of God. And I wonder to be in His feet. Oh, I just want to thank you. Oh, we bless your name. Just lift up your hands for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and just give Him a heartfelt word of worship. Something from the bosom of your heart. Oh, we bless you. Kapele sobala kaze de boratasida. Rekobala tosina na masile batu. Zito boshia na mahasiki telebo sadaba. Kapele basota na makapele na sile bakando. Jesus. Thank you. Father, I ask you tonight to glorify yourself. I ask you tonight, Lord, to just show yourself. This meeting without you is a waste of time. All this process without you, Lord, is an exercise in futility. Lord, I pray that we will touch you tonight. Lord, I pray that we will touch you tonight. I pray that we will touch the hem of your garment and that something will touch our lives. Oh, we thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. We thank you, Jesus. Satoko pasadamante usata. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. In Jesus' name. Have your seats in the presence of God. The presence of God is so unmistakable. It is impossible to not be blessed in such an environment and atmosphere like this. I like to say, even the most unblessable person in such an atmosphere, you have to get something. Hallelujah. I want to once again appreciate Pastor Ron. Thank you for making this possible. I want to appreciate Pastor Oxygen. Thank you for your hospitality. I want to appreciate Mrs. Oxygen. She's looked after our swallow sheep. I think when I go back, my wife will be asking me what happened. I will say, I will put you on the spot. Amen. What a word from Dr. Kennedy. How many of you captured something? How many captured something that from this moment onwards, you cannot walk in the same style? You cannot minister in the same fashion. You cannot speak the same way you were speaking before you came to this meeting. How many of you are in that space at this minute? Hallelujah. See, we said yesterday that God is defining our influence. God is defining our influence. So what God is going to do is position us not only with a mandate of where you're positioned, but with an instruction and a word that will establish where you are. Hallelujah. See, God operates in a particular fashion because God is about productivity. God wants you to do something that has productivity in it. Because when you fail to be productive, you burn out. When you fail to be productive, you're operating in your own ability. But God needs you to step away and take His mandate. Do it His way. Do it His fashion. Use His instructions. When you do that, any moment something seems to not go right, you have something to hold on to take back and say, Lord, when you said I did, now behold. God is obliged to act on the authority of His own instruction. I say that again. If you want God to move, use His word on Him. Not your brilliant ideas. Your brilliant ideas are just that, brilliant ideas. But if you can find where God said, do this, stand on that, tell Him, God, you said, now perform. There is one thing God will never compromise. That's His integrity. His integrity is His word. God says because He will do it. Hallelujah. So Dr. Kennedy spoke to us about being an influential person, operating in a position of influence. Knowing what you're called for and performing in your particular calling. And God wants to equip us so that we know how to operate in our sphere of influence, in our domain. Each of you has a domain. Each of you has something God has deposited in you. Each of you has a specific calling. You did not simply appear on earth. You came here in Kisumu because there is a puzzle that God wants to fit into place. And you have the piece of that puzzle that God has put in you that needs to fit in place for the bigger picture. Amen. God has seen where you're going. He is working on your present, taking you to the next step as you get to your destiny. As God is doing what He has to do, you have a responsibility to walk in step with God. You can't go ahead. You can't lag behind. You have to be in step with God. I'm going to talk briefly about the power of the mandate, the power of the instruction, the impact of what God has started. It makes a difference. I was in Uganda last week and I was talking to the church, and I said to them, a policeman is a man like you and me. But if he says for you to stop, you will stop. Because a policeman carries a mandate on him, an authority on him, which you must obey. Your failure to obey that authority causes you into some problem. You may not like the policeman, but the authority in him you are subject to. Okay. Until the policeman gets the mandate, he's an ordinary person. Until the policeman gets the authority, he's an ordinary person. What defines him from everybody else is the mandate and the authority he's been given, so that when he sees an offense being committed, he can act. Okay. The mandate of God in your life is what determines you from your environment. The mandate of God is what gives you the power and the authority to operate in your influence. God answers to the mandate on your life. God is obligated to support and protect the mandate on your life. Okay. Mary was a woman like all other women. But suddenly, Mary was chosen to carry the entire mandate of salvation in her. Now listen, the entire integrity and plan of God is in Mary. The very reason we're here today was in Mary. The reason you can sing and minister in worship was in Mary. The reason your life has changed was in Mary. Everything that we see now at some point was inside Mary. The integrity of God was inside Mary. The power of salvation was inside Mary. Everything God wanted to do was inside Mary. So God had every reason to protect Mary. God had every reason to make sure whatever happens to Mary touches him. Let's go a little far back behind. God said to Abraham, "You'll be a father of many nations." But Sarah was barren. Then in one of Abraham's troubles, you all know that your Bible readers, so you all know where I'm going with that. At some point, Abraham decided not to say that she was his wife, but gave some different information, such that his wife, with whom God had a promise with Abraham, was in the king's palace. Now, can you see where this is going? There is the promise of God, and there is a risk of the promise. So God is forced to step in to protect the mandate and the promise and the integrity that he has delivered. The king thought he was going to have a good night No, 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 no. The Bible says the king had nightmares. Why? If anything would have happened, the integrity of God, the promise of God given to Abraham would have been messed up. So that was not going to happen. So God is standing with his mandate. God is obligated to protect his mandate. God is obligated to make sure the mandate comes to pass. Okay? So Mary was protected. Anything touching Mary touched God. Anything affecting Mary affected God. Anyone trying to attack was attacking God. So it was not a case of us or any enemy versus Mary. It was every enemy versus God. Because the mandate of God was in Mary. Alright. Can you see how important it is that you have a mandate from God? Can you see how everything about your life depends on your mandate from God? You are protected because of the mandate. You are provided for because of the mandate. God walks with you because he must see the mandate come to pass. We burn out. We start things and we stop because we did not walk with the mandate. I can say that over and over again. We are called. That is not a problem. We are called. But it doesn't stop from the call. The disciples were called and Jesus told them, follow me. It didn't stop there. The next statement is the most important statement. Follow me and I will make you fishers of men. The call of God has a mandate and an instruction which you will walk with. It is not enough to say, I am called. Yes, we are called. That's good. But what are you called for? Because the reason you're called determines your weapons. The reason you're called determines your destiny. The reason you're called determines what you do from there. Moses was called. It didn't stop there. After that, God told him, because I want you to go and deliver my children from Egypt. That was the mandate that Moses had. Show me any prophet, show me anybody in the Bible that has been called and there was no statement after the call. Come unto me, all you who labor and heavy laden. It doesn't stop there. And I will give you rest. There is no call without a mandate. The mandate defines your behavior. Your mandate defines your company. We were taught in the morning, choose your friends. Some of your friends are not part of your mandate. See, people are all over the place because they are yet to know What is my calling about? So that everywhere. There's a statement I like to make that if you don't know where you're going, any bus, any matatu, any route, any plane, any bicycle will take you there. And even when you reach, you will not know you have reached. My mom used to tell us when we were growing up, I never knew, I think it means of your carelessness. Is that about right? In Kilamani, anyway, or something like that. That's what my mom used to tell us when we were growing up. Which meant we never had a destination. We were all over the place. When you determine your mandate, then you will determine your weapons. Not everyone is going where you're going. The sooner you discover your mandate, the sooner you will know. Not even at the moment you discover your mandate and begin to operate in your mandate, half of your friends will disappear. Have you ever looked at your phone, scrolled through your phone, and discovered, I can't talk to this person anymore? You look through your phone and realize, we don't have a relationship with this person anymore. See, the moment you discover your mandate and you begin to operate in your mandate, see, Dr. Kennedy was really explosive. He said, sometimes you need to find your own time, your you time. But when you've got crowds everywhere, everybody has access, when do you get time to withdraw back to yourself and refresh and get back? You don't. Because you're probably operating on the call, but you're yet to seek to the mandate. Your mandate will be education. It starts with the mandate. The mandate of God has got every instruction. The mandate tells you what to do. The mandate explains to you how you're going to do it. The mandate will tell you who is coming with you. The mandate will tell you where to perform what you've been destined to perform. Without the mandate, you're like a headless chicken. The mandate, and I'm sure our sister Emma will tell us, there are places you minister and you come out and you're thinking, Say, there are places you will go. And the moment you step in the door, you feel like, yes. Everything about it connects. There's no struggle. Everything is perfectly fitting in place. Do you know why? Waiting on your mandate has gone ahead of you and prepared a table for you. See, your mandate is not all about you. God is involved. Remember, God does not like embarrassment. I can tell you that. God does not like embarrassment. Anytime you're doing, remember the word, and a constant. If you 100%, but if you are not going to do it, do not do it 100%. So you're either doing it or you are not doing it. Make up your mind. you're trusted with the mandate. Take time to think about what God has asked you to do. Think about, because it doesn't start and stop with you. There are other lives at stake. The country could be at ransom because of you. Your community can be at stake because of you. Your mandate is not about you. Remember, I said the mandate in Mary's womb was about the whole world. Is it not amazing that when Mary discovered she was pregnant, her closest friend was her equally pregnant cousin Elizabeth? Two pregnant women have a lot in common. When Mary says, I'm feeling sick in the morning, Elizabeth will be like, oh, I know, I've been there, I understand. But how can you imagine? You're pregnant with destiny. Your closest confidant does not even know the definition of destiny. So one person is going, the other person is pulling you back. The impact is you're not moving. Your mandate and destiny will pull some people, but it will rip off other people. They're yet to get married. I pray so much. Marry a wife or a husband of destiny. There is no bigger tragedy in life like sharing a blanket with someone that is not of your destiny. There are some tears that you cry, but they go back. They don't come out. But the mandate from God, the moment you understand your mandate has your spouse in it. Your mandate describes. See, when you walk with the mandate of God, you can't get it wrong because you know. First of all, the most important thing is that you fully understand your mandate. Now, it is easy for you to pick what belongs to the mandate and what does not belong to the mandate. Because you fully understand. The mandate tells you where you're going. So it's easy to know who is not going there with you. And it's easy to tell them, excuse me, but I've got to go. See, no is no. When you say no, don't apologize for saying no. Say no, and it is no. I've said that again. Say no without apology. It's your mandate that is at stake. It's your destiny that is at stake. Don't apologize for pursuing your destiny. That's your right. Someone who values you will give you space to pursue your destiny. If they are not coming with you, they will turn aside and bless you and let you go. Because your mandate is at stake. Think about it for a second. God is trusted the deliverance of Israel from Egypt in one man. Now I can understand why when Moses said, but I can't speak, let me bring Aaron. The Bible says God was angry at Moses.
forced God's hand to bring Aaron on the board, it was meant to be Moses alone. Walk your destiny by yourself. Stop pulling the crowd with you. They're not going with you. They're not coming with you. They don't understand. Aaron wasn't there when Moses was the burning bush. He wasn't there. When God called me, I was alone. Nobody was there with me. So you're either with me or not. The moment an extra comes in, believe me, you have injected a potential problem in your mandate. Moses went ahead, but can you trace all the problems that Israel encountered that were associated with Aaron? Then you will see. See, we sabotage ourselves by the things that we include. Your closet is yours by yourself. That is where you hear from God by yourself. Allow me to read one scripture. It will be in 1 Kings. Chapter 19. 1 Kings chapter 19 from verse 19. This will help us illustrate what I'm talking about. The Bible says, so Elijah went and found Elisha, son of Shaphat, plowing a field. There were 12 teams of oxen in the field. Elijah went over to him, took his cloak across his shoulders, then walked away. Elisha left the oxen standing there, ran after Elijah and said to him, first, let me go kiss my father and mother goodbye, then I will go with you. Elijah replied, go back, but think about what I have done to you. What Elisha never knew, all Elisha was seeing was the performance of Elijah. All Elisha was seeing was the big things that Elijah was doing. But Elisha had never been with Elijah through the deep, through the pit, through the latrine. So when Elisha was called, there was obviously excitement because he's been called. He's going to be like Elijah. But Elijah was seeing different things. So Elijah said to him, watch and be. Relax. Go back and think about what I have done to you. Before you begin following me, before you see fire coming from heaven, think about what I have done to you. Elijah knew the weight of the calling. Elijah had suffered because of the calling. Elijah had had an experience because of what he was mandated to do. And here is a young man, excited. But Elijah said, no, wait, go back, sit, think. And that's the same message I'm going to throw across. Think about your mandate. It doesn't start and it doesn't stop with you. God has a bigger picture for your community. You have been placed in your place. Because from there where you are, God has an intention. You are not saved to act and look cute. No. There is something God has put and has entrusted that He wants to use you to achieve. Each one of you sitting here, the hand of God is upon you. There is a mandate upon your life. The reason you're still breathing up today is because God still has not fulfilled what He wants to fulfill. There's a community waiting to be reached. There's an office that is waiting for a revival. There is a marketplace that is waiting for your influence. There is a place that is lacking something that you possess. There is a word that you have. There is the salvation of a nation. There is something in you. Okay, let's switch this off this way. There is a song that you have that has the healing of a few people. There is a song in you. You've not produced it yet. It is in you. The moment you find the song, somebody somewhere whose healing is pegged on the song is waiting for the song. Somebody's miracle is dependent on a song that God has deposited. Not in your deeper bosom. Somewhere in there is a song. With a song comes an experience. God will give you an experience first. The experience will put a song in you. The song will deliver other people. See, God works in a corporate fashion. There is something that you possess that needs to move to somebody else. You cannot sit on it. A mandate is like a pregnancy. It has a tongue. You cannot give birth before it is called preterm. You have to get to a place that you deliver it when you should deliver. Now, the mandate of God is equally dangerous. The mandate of God is dangerous. Because God will not keep waiting on you while other things need urgent attention. You have to catch up. You have to discern. You have to know. The mandate of God has a time limit. It has a beginning. It has an end. God gave Saul a mandate. When Saul failed his mandate, what happened? Saul went as far as pulling back, consulting the dead. What he didn't know is that when he did that, he pronounced his own death sentence and his sons. Because the mandate of God is dangerous. It is time sensitive. You can't sit on it for too long. When he moves, you've got to move. Before Elisha received the mandate, he had to see the transfer. If he failed to see the transfer, Elijah would have gone with the mandate. It takes a high degree of stubbornness, a high degree of disobedience, honestly, to fail on God's mandate. It takes a high level degree of stubbornness and disobedience to fail in God's mandate. The reason I say that is because God will prompt you. God will wake you up. God will send people to you. God will send you signs. God will make sure you are aware. If you fail to pick all those signs, it's like telling me a woman is about to give birth and the time is due. It will take an impossible level of, I don't know what to call it, for her not to even know that the pains I'm feeling are not because I'm injured, but it's because my mandate is about to come out. There are some shakings in your life that are a sign that your mandate is about to come forth. There are some warfare that you're fighting, not because you did something wrong, but your mandate is targeting at you, telling you it is time. There are signs all around you that are telling you it is time. It is time. Walk with a discerning spirit. Some attacks come with a purpose. Some people left you for a reason. Some people have joined you for a purpose. Not every tear is a tear of pain. Not every sorrow is because you're hurt. Your mandate is inside of you. It is beginning to talk to you. It's telling you, rise up. It is time. Rise up. It is time. When the battle is at its peak, it is now time to deliver. When the pain is at its top, it is time to deliver. Don't let this conference come and go and remain the same. It will be almost like a crime because your mandate is calling. One of the things I fear most and I tremble. After these 3 days, I'll be going back home. And as I will be sitting down somewhere, I'm going to have a meeting with God. God is going to ask me questions. God is going to hold me accountable for what I said, for what I did, for this meeting. This is life and death. Ask every preacher, every minister that will tell you. Moment after your meeting, moment after your ministration is the most delicate moment. Because that's when God wants to take you to account. Did I ask you to do that? Did I send you to say that? Why did you not say it the way I told you? Why did you not do it the way I asked you? The mandate is heavy. I want us to appreciate the seriousness of the matter, the weight of the matter. Days of fun and games are over. Days of jokes are past. It is time to shake ourselves and turn the tables round. I was telling the people in Uganda, if you don't talk to our community and society, internet will talk to them. If we don't talk to our generation, politics will talk to them. There does not exist a vacuum. Something always occupies that vacuum. It is either the vacuum is full of God or the opposite. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, we have a job to do. We need to step up, we need to rise up, we need to shake ourselves together, we need to put ourselves together. We need to begin doing things that are effective. We need to begin to act as God instructs and says. It took Jesus 33 and a half years and the whole world was turned upside down. Friends, begin to dominate your influence. God has given you your position, your space, and has given you what it takes to turn the place upside down. How many have heard the story of the secular musician Kanye West? I'm sure you've all heard about Kanye West. What people are saying is, I'm not going to get bothered with that. But all I know is that through him, within a short time, the amount of people that have heard about Jesus is unbelievable. You can say all you want, but all I know, somebody in prison said, I have never felt a presence such as this. He was operating in his influence.